Perfect.
Today we've been making an exhaust for my Mazda RX7 FD. As you can see, it's tacked up. So I've gone for a decent sized centre box, all 316 stainless, quite a big back box. I want the car to be nice and quiet and usable. So at the moment, this is probably 2 hours in, 3 hours in. Done a bit of cutting, done a bit of tacking, welded the inner to the box. I bought the boxes done already, so I didn't make them. So now we've got to weld up centre section. So this is the exhaust that was on it. It's been on for 6.5 years. Basically a Jap speed exhaust that was too loud, so I added this box, chopped the centre about a bit to be able to add this box as well, and the 3-inch outward roll tailpipe, which has done its job for this time, but it's not the nicest. And I've got a bit of time in this COVID lockdown, so I want to bring the standard exhaust up to more like the standard of the downpipe that I made and the exhaust manifold that I made. You can see the wastegate here, which is fed back in to 3.5 inch, and it steps down to 3 inch. I also made the exhaust manifold, which you can't quite see up there, it's a bit dark. So here's the centre section, it's tacked. Got some gaps I'm going to have to do around here where the box was welded. I've got some quite good joints, so they should be pretty easy. And I'll just fuse on the inside of here. Got a Furic cut and thyroided tungsten. Other than that, my weld is just exactly as it came from Artec. I wouldn't say I was a professional fabricator, but I do enjoy it. Get quite good sometimes, maybe through luck, maybe through judgment, who knows.
Perfect.
You can see that I've gone round, done a bit on each joint to try and stop anything pulling. From my experience anyway, if you weld a whole side, it can pull the tacks off the other. So now both sides have got a decent couple of inches holding it together, so I can go and bit by bit fully weld everything. As you can see, I tried to fill the gaps here. It's come out okay. This side's come out a bit nicer. I turned the gas up and I sharpened the tungsten a bit. Whether it had some contamination on, I'm not sure, or maybe the box has. It's quite hard to weld these boxes because the wadding inside sometimes smokes and causes contamination. Now look, they're okay. Could be nicer. That bit's quite good there. Yeah, could do with a steadier hand, but like I said, I'm not a professional. I just enjoy it, and thought you guys might want to join in. An hour or so later, GoPro's got a nice bit of battery in it now, been on charge. Almost finished the welding on this midsection, I suppose, of the exhaust. Some bits are better than others, as is usually the case with my fabrication. I normally get the hang of it towards the end of whatever I'm making, and then it's so long between making something else that I forget again. Fused all the inside of there. I've just got to put 2 lambda bungs in. I've got one in the new ECU and one for the lambda gauge, which I'll probably remove once the car's tuned, so I don't need to watch it all the time. Hopefully I have a dashboard to be able to do that. These are the lambda bosses I use, and they're radiused for 3-inch pipe. They sit nicely on 3-inch tube once you cut the hole, and they're quite easy to weld because it's got this lip, so it stops the threads melting if you get too much heat into it, if you're an amateur like me. So yeah, I'll get them in. I've now got one lambda boss set in there. Used an array of abrasives and drills and step drills and cone drills. Just got a little bit of float in there, so I know that it's dropped right in. It's quite a nice gap around there. It's pretty close, should be quite easy to weld. Not quite round, close. So I started off with 3mm, then a 5mm, and I've got these pretty good cone cutters. Because they're smooth, they don't get stuck and wear out at one point like they do with a step drill. This one, however, has seen better days, so I had to do the last bit with a die grinder bit in my drill. I probably weld this one in before I start doing the other one because I'm bored of drilling. All welded, shake the swarf out, ready to let it cool down, have a tidy up and a cup of tea before it goes back on the car. I was just cleaning up these welds with a bit of scotch and some brake cleaner. Just take the colour out of them and give them this nice finish and take the writing off the bends. I decided to redo this weld because I wasn't happy with the penetration that I'd got. It looked a bit flaky. Before I can clean that off, I just thought I'd give anyone who's thinking of having a go some beginner to beginner tips, things I've learned. So firstly, just make sure that you're sat comfortably. It helps me to rest my hand because it stops you shaking and possibly touching the tip. Also, the TIG torch is quite heavy when you're trying to hold it in a certain place with the cable hanging down. So try and support the rear of the cable with your arm rather than the hand because your wrist can get quite tired. Make sure that whatever you're welding is supported. The worst thing when you're halfway through welding is something like this that's red hot, fall over, because your instinct is to try and catch it. Having a decent machine helps. This one's a good value machine. I think I paid £1,400 for it and it does way beyond my capability. It's all completely standard apart from this Furic cup, which I have a bit of damage on. Other than that, it's just practice. Now that it's all finished and it's actually ready for the final fit to the car, it's got no hangers on this section, and I'm going to do the rear section once I've got the tailpipe because I'm currently waiting on that to be delivered. So I don't want to take it off, start welding things up until I know that the tailpipe's going to be good. So this can actually go back on the car. Before I do that, I'm going to blow the airline down it to make sure any swarf is out of it. The last thing you want is a nice bit of hot stainless swarf onto your lambda sensors. That would be bad news. Okay, so it's now Monday. Had a nice Sunday off in isolation. Had some nice food, had some Easter eggs. So today I managed to find this bit of 3.5 inch left over from when I made a downpipe. I managed to make this tailpipe, which I'm pretty happy with. Sits nice, sticks out about the right amount. I had to cut an inch off, so I started too long and trimmed it down. I've also made this hanger and this hanger, which just, again, they're just tacked on at the moment. Just making this one now. That one's not tacked on yet. I'm about to do that now. Just been using my blowtorch to heat up the tube, a hammer or a big spanner to bend it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. This is the centre section. All fitted, bit of sealer. Again, I'm happy with that. Looks really good. 2 lambda sensor holes at the top there. I've tested them, both they fit, which is always good. It's worst thing in the world when you weld it all together and put it on and the drills wander, or you've put the sensor at the right angle and it hits, so that's good. Fits, box nice and level. So yeah, just gonna weld this, tack this on, and I can remove it all and weld it all. Got some okay tacks on that. So now, just gotta remove it all. We'll wait for that to cool down, then remove it all and do a load of welding again. I just put another tack on the back box there because I noticed that I hadn't done, I thought I might still move it, but just wanted to put, you've got to make sure you put as many tacks on as possible so that when you remove it, it's definitely not going to move. The worst thing is if you go to the bench, weld it all, put it back on, something's moved or pulled, so more tacks is better than less. Okay, so unfortunately we had a battery error on the GoPro, ran out. Most of the welding is now done. It's come out pretty good, apart from my shaky hands. Just need to tack tack these on. I was just going to tack the ends. Still need to weld the tailpipe. I'm also going to make another piece of hanger that just braces to here and triangulates. This one's okay because it's on the edge. I'm just going to weld this inner. Well, once again, my cutting let me down basically. Trying to take shortcuts because the tailpipe sits on a slight angle. It's sat at the top. It's obviously 3.5 inch, and the box is 3 inch. So there is an overlap. So it sits on the inner at the top, and at the bottom it sits on the box. It's just around the sides. There's obviously a gap. These are the bits that, as a part-time hobby fabricator, they're the bits that are hard. A pro probably would have just taken a different approach, but you live and learn. All in all, pretty happy with my welds. Also, I didn't go over this before. This is the saw that I use. I made the whole of the exhaust manifold on the Transit Connect van that I turbocharged, which you might have seen on YouTube. Yes, I've done the whole manifold, all the boost pipes, all the exhaust that I did on that, all with that, and with the same blade. So the blade lasts for ages, cut stainless no problems, up to 4 inch. So yeah, obviously I've used it for the whole of this exhaust and the bit that's on there. So now it's time to clean it up and get it fitted.
The next day.
So you joined me on Tuesday morning. My GoPro ran out of battery again yesterday, so you didn't get me polishing the tip. I can show you that now. So it's the final fitment. I'm happy with it. Looks good, and it's time to start it up. Just while we're here, we'll have a look around here. Got the door open because it's going to stink. This is the engine bay. It's a work in progress, but it does work. Got an ECU Master Emu Black on there. I've made a plug and play adapter. It's a prototype at the moment. Pretty happy with the noise. A bit louder than it was, but not too loud. Stinks. Perfect. Job done.